Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Local Spotlight. I am Neneh Biffinger, your trusted real estate expert in the Denver metro area. I started these Local Spotlight sessions because I am so passionate about helping and celebrating small businesses and nonprofits. During these, I don't know what to call it anymore, interesting, unprecedented times, I believe it's even more important for us to come together and support and celebrate these small businesses and nonprofits. I also love good food, which is another reason that I'm excited to feature Gourmet for Good today. You can trust me that it's good because I was lucky enough to visit their facility last week and try chicken salad for lunch. And then even more testament to the fact that it was good was that I brought it home and my husband, who normally is not a fan of chicken salads, devoured the leftovers that I had brought home. So today we have Gourmet for Good, which is a 31-year-old Denver-based catering company that provides safe and healthy meals previously under the name Gourmet to Go. They have always specialized in drop-off catering for their corporate clients meetings of 5 to 500 people. Then there was COVID, we all know, and many offices closed. So the company did a strategic pivot and expanded their offering to include home delivery of the same great meals that they have always served, this time in a heat and serve model that is sized for a family. Our guest today, Rod Saylor, is a Denver-based entrepreneur. He earned his marketing degree from Kansas State University and MBA from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business, where he gained ample experience in growing or improving various businesses. He also became a loyal Gourmet to Go customer, and in 2019, loved it so much he purchased the company and changed the name to Gourmet for Good in response to COVID's impact on his business. His combination of experience, passion for good food, and understanding of the company's clients' needs made this a natural fit. So, Rod, there is the story behind the name change, and it is such a big piece of the company's story and mission that I would love for you to share a bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Neneh. It actually, we made the name change long before COVID came along. Well, long before. It was in January is when we pivoted. There were a couple of reasons for that. First of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate that. But we changed the name because I've been involved in nonprofits for 20 plus years that deal with food security issues. And so I knew this company by reputation. In past lives, I had written checks to this company, seems like almost every week, because I had sales reps that were hosting like lunch and learn programs with their clients. And so I knew, how loyal the people that I trusted were to this place. There was something special about it, right? So when I learned I was looking for something that a company to buy that I felt like I could bring some additional value to, this one kind of jumped off the page at me as far as something that was kind of in my wheelhouse. I understood, and also was a good platform for us to do some good for people in the local community. I have, like I said, I've been involved in the food security related charity work since 1998, I believe. And so this is a very natural extension for me. And then with the pandemic that came along, we were able to kind of demonstrate that concern for others in some pretty unique ways. Certainly things that would not have come up otherwise. Since mid-March, we've given away scores of meals to healthcare professionals. We've given away hundreds of meals to Denver Children's Home, and we also packaged 50,000 meals for families in need in the local market on behalf of a charity that was looking for some hands and a commercial kitchen. So we do have a dedicated commercial kitchen. It's been our home base for 31 years. This business is in very good, has as ever since I've owned it, and certainly even more so now, very intentional about the good things that we can do for the community and for society with this platform. We what keeps the lights on is the meal prep that we do for corporate clients and now home delivery. But our heart is for the people that struggle with food related issues, and particularly food security. So anything we can do to help, we try to do that if we can.
I think it is so fantastic because it is such a big part of the story. People love a story behind a company, and I feel like yours is so strong. And also, I feel like it's really in the heart of a lot of people, especially now, to uh, tip more, use local people. I mean, everybody's really putting their heart out there for that. And so to feel
Hmm.
good about the fact that if you're needing to buy lunches for a client anyway, or for a luncheon, why not do it with a company that is also supporting the local economy? Which, why don't you talk about that as far as even the delivery drivers from your perspective?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've employed like some. Our team has been amazing and is amazing, and we have. I would say the average tenure of our employee base is probably 10 plus years. I mean, these are people that do this for a career. Even our drivers are relatively committed to us. I mean, we when we're busy, we give them full time employment, and all of the delivery fees that we charge, all of that goes directly to them. We don't take any cut of that. Um, and if we receive tips, we distribute that to the drivers and to the kitchen. Um, so yeah, I mean, they've actually, unlike a lot of platforms, they can actually make a reasonable living wage driving for us, and that's because we intentionally don't, take a cut. We actually do everything we can to maximize their earnings, so that they treat us well, and then what happens is they become very strong ambassadors for us. They wear our clothing, they talk about us, they carry business cards, and if somebody approaches them in an elevator and says that looks really good, or where are you going, they're not at all afraid to like give the pitch, right, and encourage people to try us. And by and large, once we get the word out and people have tried us, they generally tend to come back. Um, I think we just offer a really great platform. It's chef prepared meals. We have some really immensely talented people and some really proven recipes and some practices around um, labeling and packaging that people that don't do this for a living just don't think of. And so I've personally, in my past life, hosted hundreds, if not thousands, of lunch and learn sort of situations where you're bringing lunch in. And I know how important it is, first of all, that you be on time. Second of all, that the food's great. And third of all, well, and also that you're um, providing everything they need. You're not trying to figure out whether or not, where are the napkins, or they forgot my salad dressing, or is this one gluten free? Like, we handle all of that because we know that if you're hosting an event, the last thing you want to do is deal with that. You want to just put a great meal down in front of somebody and have them enjoy it while you're hopefully talking about what you do for a living. You're not there just to feed people. So
One
I mean, I think we're great at that. And I think that's been our, in the past, has been our primary motivation.
100%. When I had lunch with you last week and I took out my nice little package with the nice ribbon and this and the sticker, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I would have given anything to have known about this company back when I had to order massive lunches for people, because it is challenging in some areas to find really quality, good food, gourmet food, quality food
Mm.
made that day. Let's talk about that as well. It's not like this is all frozen and done weeks in advance and you're hoping you get something healthy and safe. So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our receiving usually takes place between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And so we receive the food that is primarily going to be cooked that day. We place the order at the end of the day, the previous day. It's generally delivered the next morning, and it's prepared. We had over 100 um, uh, boxed breakfast meals go out this morning that were all prepared after 5 a.m. I mean, there really isn't any. I mean, our freezer is smaller than this room that I'm in, and has just it's probably the emptiest space in the building. We intentionally pretty much cook everything to order and cook everything fresh. And so then by the end of the day, it's worked its way out the building and to the drivers and out for delivery. And we start again the next morning. So it's very low overhead, low inventory. Like we process everything pretty quickly and with a minimum of hands. And like I said, it's a dedicated space. So, we're in charge of our sanitation and all of that, and we stay on top of that extraordinarily well. And our crew is committed to just producing a product that's head and shoulders better than anything you would get from anything with a nationally recognized brand.
Absolutely. And so while I start to share my screen, I'm just going to take us to your website so that everybody's mouth can start to drool as we see the lovely options that you have. And while I do that, why don't you tell us what it's also like if we were to order it for our family, because that's a big deal. People are tired of shopping. Maybe they don't even like to go to the grocery store, cooking at home, all of that. So talk to us as I start to share my screen about what that's like.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks, Nina. And so, we basically relied for 31 years on corporate catering, which is dropping off meals for corporate events. And, March came along and, our orders went from between 600 and 1,000 meals a day to, less than 100, less than 50, less than 20 in a few days. And so, we sat around and thought about what we do well and how we can leverage that, and what we could do to, continue to be a great employer and provide a good living for people and solve the needs of the marketplace as it existed that day. The private chef um, effort that we created is basically repackaging our best product, the kind of the most favorite entrees and salads and sandwiches, repackaging those in a new format, which is kind of a heat and serve or ready to serve. All of those entrees that you just clicked on are generally they're entrees that have been very, very popular with our corporate clients in a catering situation with corporate buffets. Well, these are basically resized and repackaged in such a way that we can deliver one or two or four entrees in a format that's ready to just heat and serve for the family. Because I think March. It's funny. March happened, and you look at consumer behavior, and everybody's like, "We're stuck at home. We're going to bake. We're going to learn to cook. We're going to do this. We're going to do that." And I think mid-April rolled around, and everybody got pretty tired of doing that. If you look at what yeast or flour sales have done, they spiked like crazy in March and April because everybody got all aggressive about what they were going to do. And now people are like, God, can I just not eat out of a bag? And they don't want to cook, right? So we kind of provide the offering that will allow people to bridge that gap. They can still have a super healthy chef made meal as if they were at a nice restaurant, just ready to heat and serve at their home. So, in fact, our executive chef is Matt Selby. He was the guy that opened Vesta Dipping Grill and was there for 16 years, I think. Also opened Steuben's, also opened Ace. So,
I did not put that
he's one
together.
of,
That is awesome. I didn't realize.
yeah, yeah, he's an immensely talented chef. And then, on top of all of that, we've got 31 years of history of testing the water with people's palates and playing around with what people are looking for. So, yeah, I think this private chef site that we created and that business unit that we started is just kind of a natural extension of our corporate business and something we will continue to promote and support even when people get back to work. I think that there's no reason why we wouldn't continue to do that. We'll continue to change the menu once a quarter, the same way that we do the corporate menu. It's really the same great food, just packaged in a different format. And it's delivered to your home. It's packaged in such a way you can just throw it in the oven and half an hour later have a Matt Selby designed meal, it's fully cooked, just ready to heat it up and serve it. So, and we have some kind of fun options in there. Like we sell cookie dough. We have I think there's still a date night package that includes an entree, a salad, and some flowers. We have chocolate dipped
Oh,
strawberries, which
flowers.
are wildly popular. A lot of good stuff out there, and what we hope is that we can become part of a family's meal plan, and they can just place an order for a meal or two a week, or they can also portion it, like get the smaller portions and just get salads and sandwiches individually boxed and ready to throw in the fridge and then ready to heat ready to eat. If you're working at home and you're like, if it's 11:30 and you're wanting to DoorDash, like if you think of like a few days ahead, you can actually get a much better product delivered to your house without the exorbitant delivery fees and the pain of dealing with the DoorDash people, like, and support a local cause, right? That's
Exactly.
our hope as well.
So we did have requests to see the desserts, and so here are the lovely desserts as we go through. And then you can see the website is super easy to go through. You can place your order, add it in there, put your section for delivery. Rod, I was curious because I was playing with it yesterday. It looked like you could choose to pick up or have it delivered. Is that an option right now?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We're located. Our commissary has always been at roughly Federal and Hampton, and you absolutely have the option to do curbside delivery. Just call us when you get here, and we'll bring it out, drop it in your trunk, and you can have it delivered, no contact kind of way. We're happy to do that as well. But yeah, the only other, I guess, point to mention is that our delivery fees go straight to the driver. We don't mark those up or whatever. Um, and you'll also notice when you use the private chef site, um, those are all considered by the state to be meals ready to eat at home. So there's no sales tax. So that's a fairly significant savings over. It seems like if you use Postmates or DoorDash or Uber Eats, there's like 6 different add-on fees that they tack on. The only thing that we charge, we don't even charge sales tax. We just charge the delivery fee, which goes straight to the driver.
It's fantastic. So just so y'all know, it's gourmetforgood.com. Super easy. You can go in, and as I opened it up, you saw there were 2 different sections. You can choose the catering option, or you can choose the corporate catering, or you can choose the order for delivery at home. And then Rod, it's by 3 p.m. They need to place the order if they want it for the next day,
Hmm.
correct? Yep. So just remember
Yes.
that if you're ordering for a lunch for a group, just make sure you place the order by 3 p.m. the day before, and it will get delivered. Do y'all have any questions before we let Rod go? Anyone? Y'all have done a good job of putting some in the chat, but just want to check. Andrea, yeah. See you unmuting.
Yeah. Hi guys. Sorry I'm a little late. Rod, you might have already covered this, but how big is the team? How large of a staff do you have?
We had 30 going into the first quarter, and our business is still as slow as you would expect. We've relied on corporate clients who have business meetings, and no business meetings equals no revenue for us. We're doing our best to keep about 10 or 12 people fully employed right now, which is a much higher ratio than our sales would dictate, but we're doing our best to keep people in jobs. And then, like, this week actually looks encouraging, and if we can bring some other people back, they're all almost exclusively agreed to be job attached. With the right now, if we can bring them back, we will. I love every single one of these people and appreciate everything that they bring to the job. And it's excruciating to leave people that are that talented at home. So we're trying to give people as many hours as we can and still keep the lights on. And so that's the delicate balance that we strike right now. But I think things like Private Chef is going to help. When we were packaging all those meals for the charity, that gave us some great stuff to do. And, we paid them to do, even though we didn't get paid to do that, we did that pro bono and still paid them for their hours because we believed in advancing that mission. But, we're doing our best to keep our heads above water. And, I'm hopeful that we're starting to see some people easing back into the workplace. And as that happens, and as we get the word out for Private Chef, I think we're going to continue to see some growth and get some people back. I don't know how long it'll take to get back to, where we were at last year. I think everybody in the food business is kind of, dreaming of that day, but it's certainly not obvious that, we're on any short path to that. But, I think we're going to survive this. We're in a place where we have such great customers and such great loyal fans that I think a lot of people are looking for ways to support us. And then, I'm doing the things like this that allow me to get the word out a little bit and meet some new friends. I think that we're going to be fine. But certainly, we're bringing people back as quickly as we can. Thanks for the question.
Corey, did you have one? It looked like you unmuted yourself. I wasn't sure.
I did. Rod, what is your delivery zone?
We go basically from Boulder to Castle Rock.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's really, well, actually last week we drove to Breckenridge for a decent sized order. It's just a matter of talking to our drivers and making it worth their time, right? Unlike, some of the other platforms, like, our kitchen everything's made to order, and our kitchen is at Santa Fe and Hampton. So to get something to Broomfield, I got to pay somebody to drive over to our shop, pick it up, and drive it to Broomfield. And I think that's probably in the $25 range, something like that. So, it's not something that you would just order one sandwich. And that's really kind of why we're not on some of those quick serve platforms like Uber Eats, right? Like, we just aren't able to do that well. We're better positioned to be part of a meal plan, and you plan ahead, and you order enough for your family for the night or for 2 nights. That's probably what we're better positioned for. And then the delivery fee just kind of like, that seems reasonable if you're feeding 4 people 2 times, and all of a sudden it's a very rational number.
Thanks.
Good question, Corey.
Yeah, sure.
Forgot to cover that. Thanks. Okay, so we will wrap it up if there are not any other. Oh, Leslie, did you have one?
I actually do have one. Rod, so I am planning to do events in the future whenever in-person events are possible again. And I was just wondering, do you have a way, do you have a way to present a menu? Like, say somebody's registering online for an event, is there a way to present a menu so they can choose what they want? And then I think you touched on this. I had a cat who was mauling me during this whole presentation. That was another reason I needed to keep my camera off. But I think you, because I heard the words gluten-free, and so I think you also accommodate. Do you accommodate like individuals? Like, okay, these 5 individuals need something that's gluten-free or whatever.
Yes, we absolutely do that. I don't think we could be in this business anymore if we didn't try and help meet people's dietary requirements, right? So absolutely, we have options for nearly any dietary requirements somebody might have. We don't have a website that people can enter their order on per se. I guess the process that we've seen work the best is basically, if we can just get a list of, for Leslie wants the chicken salad, hold the croutons. We'll make those adjustments, and then what we'll do is we'll overwrite on the label that goes on the food. We'll overwrite the product name with Leslie, and then it just shows up in it, and it's custom made for her.
Okay, but like, I could take your menu and present it to registrants and have them choose what they want. Okay.
Absolutely. And if there's a handful of them that kick out and say, I'm gluten-free, I'm dairy-free, I'm vegan, whatever, we can walk them through that very, very easily. We're still kind of old school enough that when the phone rings, we have a live person pick up, and they're knowledgeable and conversant and can walk people through. You can almost place an order on the phone faster than you can online or any other way. Like, those guys are awesome, and they know our menu like the back of their hand. They're involved in developing our menu. They each have, like, they actually all have an important voice in our menu development when we're doing product development, because some of them just don't like spicy at all, and some of them like this and that. We have a cross section of palates that help us really refine our product development when we do that. So I would say, as you start planning that meeting, just get us involved, and we'll be happy to make it easier than you can possibly imagine.
Okay,
That's
great.
what we do.
That sounds great.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Leslie.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
show it before, but this is the section that is for the corporate catering. And
Oh,
so
okay.
you can put in your order here. So just so you know, pretty easy to get through.
Yeah, and each one of those boxes will also give you the option to go to a PDF. And so if you wanted to download the sandwiches and salad boxes, you could click that, and then they're all right there.
Perfect.
And with a quick description. And so I think we even say if something's vegetarian, like if you look at the mozzarella salad that was on there, it said vegetarian. I think we try and indicate things that are naturally vegetarian. We should probably go through and indicate what's gluten-free, but we can make nearly everything gluten-free. We have gluten-free bread, and we have Beyond sausage. If people want a breakfast buffet that's vegetarian, we can switch them to Beyond sausage, which has been a pretty popular request for us. If they don't like meat, we can accommodate anybody. I mean, we would not be successful if we didn't have those options like right at our fingertips.
Okay, great.
And we also do some really nice appetizer trays. Like, that's where Neneh was just at. We do, like, if they just want like a cheese plate or fruit plate or something like that, we do that extraordinarily well. We do deliver a lot of those dessert squares or that sort of thing, like late in the day. So we can really, I mean, it's intentionally catered to give a corporate client or a corporate meeting exactly what they're after. And I think we've taken that same discipline and taken it over to the private chef side as well. We don't have corporate clients asking for movie night plates, but we did create that for families, just thinking that might be a nice option for them.
Okay. Well, thank you, Rod. I do appreciate your time, and I thank all of y'all for jumping on. Oh, I have one more thing to share. Corey, who is actually on here today as one of our attendees, the next local spotlight is going to be on Wednesday, August 26th at 12 p.m. She's going to be answering your financial questions. She's with Edward Jones, very knowledgeable, and it's going to be a great time to really just ask questions about your finances, and she'll be there to help you. And that will be actually our final session. So I hope all of y'all jump on. More details will be coming for that. And of course, on the real estate side, if you have anybody, again, I love to help, and I have a lot of resources. So if you know anyone who is either looking for a job, needs to refinance their home, looking to remodel their kitchen, or anything else, please let me know, because I would love to be able to help them, real estate or otherwise. And if anything else, thank you so much for for jumping on, and I will send this video to you as a follow-up. So if you have any other questions or want a refresher on what Rod talked about, it'll be available for you. Thanks, and y'all have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Neneh.